warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hi, I am Hana Rifqah from Introduction to Physics course to talk about the phenomenon of the 3 days of darkness, which is the polar night. So today I'm going to talk about the 3 days of darkness, which is the polar night. What is polar night? Polar night is the term for when night lasts for more than 24 hours inside the polar circle. In this case, night is defined as when the center of the sun is below the horizon. Not all the latitudes are situated north enough to experience total darkness. Instead, their brightest moment level are twilight that occur in the early afternoon before approaches evening and the darkness increases. What causes the polar night? The polar night is caused by the rotation of the Earth in relation to the position of the sun. The Earth rotates on a tilted axis of around 23.5 degrees. As a result of this axial tilt, there are periods of the year where the Arctic Circle and the Antarctic Circle are either completely exposed or obscured from the sun. When they are obscured, it causes the prolonged darkness known as the polar night, while when they are exposed, it creates a prolonged period of daylight known as the midnight sun. You can see the axial tilt of the Earth visualized in the image above, as one pole is totally exposed to the sun while the other is completely obscured. Why not on the polar circles? In locations just inside the Arctic Circle, there may be no polar night around the December solstice. For example, in Gulliver, Sweden, there is never a 24-hour night, even though the city is about 100 kilometers north of the Arctic Circle. The reason why the polar night region doesn't quite extend to the polar circle is because of the reflection. The fact that light bends when it hits the Earth's atmosphere. Refraction makes the sun visible above the horizon several minutes before it actually gets there. So a small portion of the sun's disk may be seen, even in areas just within the polar night region. Even in regions well within the polar circles, polar nights are not necessarily completely dark because the sun might be just below the horizon around noon, producing twilight. So, how long does the polar night last? The full length of the polar night depends on your latitude. The average duration for most destinations is around 30 days, but more northerly locations can enjoy as almost 2 months of darkness. If you are situated at one of the poles, this would last for around 11 weeks. How do locals feel about the polar night? Polar night affect to approximately 40% of the population, making them feel tired when waking up in the morning and don't seem to have enough resources for normal everyday routines. Researchers have shown that the polar night affects the quality of sleep, increase the sweet tooth, and decrease of physical activity. No wonder some of them gain weight during winter. So the additional info that we got from the polar night is people who live north of the Arctic Circle often find it harder to sleep during the polar night. This is because melatonin, a hormone which helps regulate circadian rhythm, is stimulated by light. So the question is, does local people take any vitamin to continue surviving?